by the pig here and share his embrace, and let my red whiskers lie close to your face. This treasure won't hurt you, he'll do you no harm. Drop down here, Biddy, and keep me back warm, and squeeze up beside me as you've both done before. I'll sing you to sleep with the sounds of me snore. The rats and the mice all around us will creep. Biddy, leave me to sleep, Biddy, leave me to sleep. For I'm clasped to the pig in a loving embrace, and the hairs of his curly tail are tickling my face. There's no use in telling me sober to keep. Biddy, leave me to sleep, Biddy, leave me to sleep. For I'm clasped to the pig in a loving embrace, the hairs of his curly tail are tickling my face. There's no use in telling me sober to keep. Biddy, leave me to sleep, Biddy, leave me to sleep. That was Clasped to the Pig, an Irish traditional song that I played straight from the charts of the Morristown Uke Jam. So take the link in the video description, download the free ukulele song sheet, grab your own ukulele, and you can play right along with this video. And if you'll be anywhere near Morristown, New Jersey, come out and play with us. In just a moment, I'll do a basic tutorial covering everything I just played. At the very end, I'll do a slow motion close-up play along that you might find helpful. But right now, if you like the video, please like the video with a thumbs up. If you want lots more, subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you want over 1,000 more free downloadable ukulele song sheets, each one with a link to its own free video tutorial and play along just like this one, then check out our Dropbox and then come play with us. Okay, first off, let me just say all the two things. First off, all the fingerstyle stuff I did, you know, you don't have to do that if you don't want to. In fact, if you got like 3 people who want to play, you could have one person doing that and the other 2 just playing the chords, and that would be fine. It just... that would be fine. You can do that. You can do that if you want. If you just don't want to work that hard, right? Or you don't want to practice. You don't have the time to practice to be able to play it. That's fine. The other thing is I found it greatly helpful to have a partner playing percussion. In other words, you don't need another person to play ukulele or Irish mandolin, bouzouki, or anything like that. You don't need a partner to do that, but someone to play percussion to really emphasize the first down of the 3/4 timing. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That's why I asked my son Ben to play percussion along with me. And when I played it with Morristown Uke Jam, I didn't disperse the song sheet. I didn't want them to play along on ukulele, but I said, please, I need a drunken bar crowd to give me percussion on this, please do. And they did wonderfully well. They did. This is a pub song. You know, this is a drunken bar crowd song about a guy who got drunk and woke up, you know, embracing his pig. So it's completely appropriate to be asking people to, you know, get into it and do an Irish honky-tonk thing with percussion. But so, those 2 things aside, then let me show you. So the strum, if you're just going to do the strum, if you're going to keep it simple, then at least almost throughout the entire song, it's just 3/4 timing. And the way I did it was 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, down, down, up, down, 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 up, down. Emphasis is always on the first one. Down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down. And you can do that the entire song if you want. You can. Now, I'm going to go over the verse is much simpler. I'm guessing there are a whole lot more of you that are going to play through the verses than there are who are going to choose to do the fingerstyle stuff in the instrumental parts. So let me go through that first. All those chord transitions. There's a great variety of C's, right? You got a C5, C suspended 4th, suspended 2nd, C alternate. But, I mean, you know, I called it alternate because I think of this as a second position C, but this is a C too. I liked the fact these two strings were almost always like the drone sounds. Every once in a while, I touch the third string from the floor, right? But I don't think I touched the fourth string the entire song. The entire song, I don't think, even up here. Whoops. Is that right? Is that what I did? Yeah. Yeah, I didn't touch this first string the entire song. That gives a kind of a drone sound that sounds kind of like a bagpipe. To me, that makes it sound a little bit more Irish. You know, all the fifths and also the drones did that. So, having said that, all right, going into the verse, the chord transitions. I'm going to start with a C5. Right, oh, backwards and forwards, I'm reeling in tight. The way I'm doing that, I'm starting with this. You could start with whatever you like. A finger covering two strings for that C5. And then the F add 9 is just one finger. So I suppose if you start with an index finger, maybe that's the easiest, I'm not sure. But then just the one finger for the F add 9. And then back up to... It's the same C5 with one more finger for that alternate C. Backwards and forwards, I'm reeling in tight. And then I'm going to slide that index finger back down to the same place it was and drop another finger for that C suspended fourth. And it was some spree. Now, I'm going to leave my ring finger there, and I'm going to bring two more fingers up to give that C suspended second. That's what that is. It was some spree that now my index finger stays put and I form a G around it. Then at last, and now the middle finger slides up a fret for a C. A straight C for once. Look at that. Well, I've been to McCarthy's. Exactly the same thing a second time. Patsy O'Maher drank the back bottle from under the bar. Is this exactly the same thing 4 times? I think it is. We drank and we drank, boys. Banished all care. Look at that. And now on the floor, I'm curled up in a heap. Biddy leave me to sleep. Biddy leave me to sleep. So you learn that chord progression, and you play it 4 times for the verse. That's what it is. And what about the chorus? Is it exactly the same? I'm clasped to the pig in a loving embrace. Hairs of his curly tail are tickling my face. Well, look at that. I didn't even notice that. The chorus is exactly the same progression 2 more times. So you do it 6 times in a row. You learn that progression, you got the song. And by the way, you could leave the instrumental pieces out if you want, or you could just play a simplified version of them. You know, you could just do, so you have kind of a pause in between the verse and the chorus. You could do that if you like, simplified version of the song. Now I'm going to go over the crazy stuff, which took me a while. I had to practice this, and in fact, I'll show you the part that was hardest for me. But first, I'm going to do it in chronological sequence. So first, we got a C. I'm going to come real close. First, we got a C5, right? It's just the intro. The pre-intro is the easiest part of the song. It's just 8 measures of C5. 5, 6, 7, and here goes now. Now that's the hardest part. So far, other than that, I'm only touching 2 strings. I start out on the C5, and I'm always touching 2 strings, right? I start out on the C5, and then I'm using my pinky and my other fingers. That's it. And what I'm doing with my right hand, I'm just kind of pausing there to give it a little more dramatic effect. okay? So I'm on the 3rd fret here, and I use my other fingers up. And by the way, the entire tablature is at the end of this song sheet. So check it out. If you're going to learn this, you're going to need the tablature. So, all right. So unless you have a really good ear, which some people do. Okay, so it's basically the same thing I'm doing in different positions. Here, I'm going 3rd and up to the 7th. And then I slide this double string cover right up to the 5th fret, and I'm going up to the 8th. That's what I'm doing, okay? Back down. And then all the way up, I'm going all the way up to the 8th fret, and what is that? I guess the 12th. And then back down one more time. And this is the tricky part. Okay, so once more, where it's highly duplicative, right, in a sequence. But so I got 3rd fret, 5th fret, 3rd fret, 8th fret, 3rd fret, 5th fret, and then the hard part. Sorry. So here's how I do that part. It starts out the same, but with a little different timing. So that's not the hard part. And then I drop this back. What I need to do here, with my index finger, I have to cover all 3. Sorry. I have to cover all 3 because that second part, that's a G. I need to have that G, meaning I've got 3, and then just my middle finger is on just the 2nd string. I have to arch my middle finger so you can see through that. So that I want to hear this. That's what I want to hear. Sorry. And I do that by and by the way, I did have to practice that. I just sat there going I had to what I did it in slow motion first. I did it over and over again in slow motion, and then faster and faster until I could do it at speed, and then until I could do it in the middle of the song. And then the second half of that intro then, which we play, I call it an intro, but we actually play it throughout. So the first is this. And then it starts out the same. And then I'm forming basically a G5. And this time, it's a G5, and then I flatten out. So I guess that's a G suspended 4th. And then a G. So I just want to hear this. Right? But so it's G5, G suspended 4th, and then a G. And then back to a C5, or a C5. Okay, so that's it for that. Now, the long interlude, excuse me. And then the last bit, it goes to a C suspended 4th, and then a C. So. Okay? So again, in that, the only really hard part is the, sorry, where is it? That's the only really hard part. The rest of it is just, if you can do any fingerstyle, it's a little practice and remembering, because it's probably coming too fast for you to be able to read the tablature. I had to memorize it to be able to do it. But so, all right. So that's that part. But then the longer interlude, which you can skip if you want to skip it. But here's how I'm doing it. And I tell you what, I'm not going to talk it through. If you're capable of doing the longer interlude, you've got the tablature. That shows you all. I'm just going to show you close-up, slow motion on my right hand so you can see exactly how I'm shaping it. So it starts out with the intro with everything except the extra. So it just goes right into this. And you need long fingers for this, it's true. All the way up now. Oops, screwed that up. And then the intro again. And that's it. Okay, now I'm going to do a slow motion close-up play along from the start right through the specials, but I'm going to skip verse 2. In other words, I'm going to pretend the first chorus is the second chorus, so I have less duplication. So it'll be the pre-intro, intro, verse 1, chorus, and then right into the intro and specials that come after that. Play along with me if you think it'll be helpful. Here it goes. 1, 2, 3. Slow motion. 3, 1, 2, and... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oops, sorry, I screwed that up. That's how that should have been. Sorry. That's it. See you Wednesday. Bye.